All right, now we're going to learn a new method for solving quadratics called completing the square. Now, the great thing about this method, it works every time. The not so great thing about this method, it's, in my opinion, not the easiest. It's not my favorite. Some people like it. It's not my favorite, but we'll teach it. I'll try to help you out through it. So here's how you do completing the square. The first thing you're going to do, actually, most of the other ones we made equal 0. This time with completing the square, you're going to move the constant to the right side of the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract 8, subtract 8. So x squared minus 6x equals negative 8. Okay? Next, you need to make sure that a is equal to 1. If it's not equal to 1, you have to divide everything here by what's in front of there, and there's nothing to worry about there. So step 2, we're good. Next step 3, find the value of c that makes this a perfect square. We're going to force this to be a perfect square. So how do you do that? You take b divided by 2 and square it. What's negative 6 divided by 2? Negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. Okay? Now, what we're going to do with this 9 is we're going to add this to both sides. I'm trying to make some notes here for you. Add this to both sides. Okay, so I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals negative 8 plus 9. Okay? Now, what you've done, we are basically now at this point going to do what we did yesterday in the last lesson, okay? So we're now going to do what we did in the last lesson. You force this thing to be a perfect square trinomial. What does that mean? Let's just talk through it. Let's factor this. What multiplies a 9 adds negative 6? Negative 3 and negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 6. So it'd be x minus 3 squared, okay? So you force it. Or you can just do b divided by 2 squared. That's what you're going to want to do for later ones. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1. And remember, oh yeah, get to that in a moment, sorry. Equal to 1. Then I'll take the square root, put a plus or minus there. So I'm left with x minus 3 equals plus or minus, what's the square root of 1? 1, it's nice. Okay? Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So add 3. So x equals 3 plus or minus 1. So I'm going to rewrite that as two expressions. 3 plus 1, 3 minus 1. Okay? 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. So 4 and 2 are my solutions. Okay? So 4 and 2 are my solutions. So that one was nice. It will get a little harder here. Okay? Let's go to the next one. First thing we want to do is we want to make this, move the constant to the right. So add 3, negative x squared minus x equals 3. Next, if you have anything in front of the x squared, you have to divide everything by that. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 1. Okay, so x squared plus x equals negative 3. Next, we're going to take b, which is 1, divided by 2, and square it. 1 divided by 2 is 1 half. 1 half squared, 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. We're going to add 1/4 to both sides. So we're going to add 1/4 to both sides. We're getting messy here. Okay, so x squared plus x plus 1/4 equals negative 3 plus 1/4. Okay, now you force this to be a perfect square trinomial. So it's going to be basically to factor this, it'd be some quantity, x in this case plus, because that's positive, plus some quantity, plus some value, quantity squared, okay? How do I know what this value is going to be? It's that divided by 2. What's 1 divided by 2? 1 half. Okay? Now, negative 3 plus 1/4, so you could type this in your calculator, or you could do this by hand here. Negative 2.75, math, enter, or negative 11/4. Negative 3 is negative 12/4 plus 1/4, be negative 11/4. Okay. Now, next step, square root, okay? So x plus 1/2 equals, now let's talk about this, plus or minus in front of the square root. Let's try to break this down. Okay, so we have an I in there. So we're going to take out an I, and you're also allowed to write this as the square root of 11 divided by the square root of 4. Square root of 11 can't simplify because that's just 11. That's 11, but the square root of 4 does. That's 2. So it'd be I square root of 11 divided by 2. This is not a pretty one. It'd be plus or minus I times the square root of 11 divided by 2. What do I do next? I get x by itself, so I subtract 1/2. So I'm left with x equals negative 1/2 plus or minus I square root of 11 divided by 2. Okay, you could leave it like this, or you could put negative 1/2 plus I square root of 11 divided by 2, and then negative 1/2 comma negative 1/2 minus I square root of 11 divided by 2. So you could do either way here. Okay, there's multiple ways to express this, but you might have to do a comma separated list there. Okay. All right, let me put x equals here. Feel better about that. All right, let's go to the next one. First step, this one's ugly. First step here, we've got to add 12, move the constant to the other side. So 3x squared minus 11x equals 12. Next step is we're going to divide every value by the value of a. So it'd be x squared minus 11/3 x equals 4. Now we're going to take b, which is 11/3, negative 11/3 divided by 2, and square it. Okay, 11/3 divided by 2 would be negative 11/6. And that would be 121 divided by 36. Go to the square negative 11, I get 121. Square 6, I get 36. So I'm going to add this to both sides. So I'm going to add to both sides. So x squared minus 11/3 x plus 121 divided by 36 equals 4 plus 121 divided by 36. Now I'm going to write this as a perfect square trinomial. Remember, when you do this, it's just b divided by 2. What's 11/3 divided by 2? Well, 11/3 divided by 2, you basically just multiplying the denominator by 2 to be 11/6. I kind of like we talked about here, 11/3 divided by 2 is just 11/6. And we'll do our calculator for this one. So 4 plus 121 divided by 36. And then math, enter, enter. That's 265 divided by 36. Not a pretty question here. Next, we'll square root, put a plus or minus in front. So x minus 11/6 equals, now let's break this down. 265 is 5 and 53. Let's actually do this here. The square root of 265 divided by the square root of 36. Now the square root of 36 is 6. That works out nice. This is 5 and 53. I can't do anything with that. So I can't do anything with that. So it's just going to be the square root of 265. That actually won't simplify. So this is going to be plus or minus the square root of 265 divided by 6. So I'm going to add 11/6 to both sides. Add it to the front. So x equals 11/6 plus or minus the square root of 265 divided by 6. Or you could do 11/6 plus the square root of 265 divided by 6. And 11/6 minus the square root of 265 divided by 6. So whatever way you want to do this, okay? Now, that's a lot of work. That was kind of painful. So what I want to show you here is I want to talk about the general form, how we would complete the square for the general form. I'm going to kind of explain, you'll see where this is going to go. On here, let's say I have it in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And I want to solve this, okay, with just these letters. First thing I would do, move the constant to the right. Okay. Next, what I'll do is I'll divide both sides, or divide everything by a, because I can't have anything in front of the x squared. Divide everything by a. So I'm left with x squared plus b divided by ax equals negative c divided by a. Now I'm going to take b divided by a, and I got to divide it by 2. Take that divided by 2 and square it. So that would be the same thing as b divided by 2a squared. It's a divided by 2, but the a on the bottom should be 2a. So it'd be b squared. And then 2a squared, I square the 2 and the a, so it'd be 4a squared. And so with this, I'm going to add to both sides. This to both sides. So x squared plus b divided by ax plus b squared divided by 4a squared is equal to negative ca plus b squared divided by 4a squared. Okay. Next, I'm going to factor this. How does this factor? It's just b divided by 2. So that divided by 2 would be b divided by 2a. And I'm going to rearrange this. I'm going to put the b squared first. And then the c part second, okay? Just setting up for what I want to do. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, now, let's mess with this actually right here. Let's actually mess with this. Let's get a common denominator here before I go too further. So let's get a common denominator. So this one needs, I want these two to be the same. And I actually should have done this on the last step. Let me come back here. I want to get a common denominator. This one's got a, this one's got 4a squared. So for this to be the same as that, what does this one need? It needs a 4a. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 4a. And so now when I do that, I get negative 4ac divided by 4a squared plus b squared divided by 4a squared. So I'm going to rewrite this over here, putting b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. Okay. Next, I'm going to take the square root of both sides, put a plus or minus. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come up here. X plus b divided by 2a is equal to plus or minus. Now, let's look at on this, the square root of the top. I'm going to leave some space there. Just b squared minus 4ac. But on the bottom, the square root of 4a squared, square root of b squared minus 4ac over the square root of 4a squared. This I can't mess with, but this, the square root of 4a squared is 2a. I can mess with that. So the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of a squared is a. So I'm going to put this over 2a. Now I'm going to subtract b minus 2a from both sides to get x by itself. B plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. And they're each over 2a. And so what I'm allowed to do, if they're the same denominator, I can now combine these. So I get negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Well, what in the world is that? This is called the quadratic formula. And so this is an alternate way, an alternate method we could use to solve quadratics, deriving from completing the square. So now we could use this whenever we need to solve a quadratic, and it works every time. And I actually like that method a lot better.